es la voz de LA. It's Laguna Galaxiana, come and kick it with us. I bring the bossa nova beats and talk the club that we love. Another year to adjust, and well, Coons we all trust. 6 titles in the cabin, tell the haters shut up. Mirar al horizonte con el cielo morado. Llegamos al estadio como siempre lo hago. Es la nueva temporada, ya cumplí 30 años. Rezándole a San Pequi que no dé al travesaño. Que repartan los balones y no sean tacaños. Que regrese el contraataque y que le hagamos daño. Un saludo para Robert, hermanos ecuatorianos. Que la táctica de Ananda nunca sean en vano. Si se trata de mi gala me levanto temprano. Ver el fur en verano, en el pasto tumbado. Siempre estoy a tu lado, en cualquier resultado. Vamos Galaxy, on top is where I gotta be. Chilling in the canopy, staging like a winery. Goals during rivalries, brew from the refinery. Only want the finer things, we letting you know. Lo que pasa en la galaxia, ready, let's start the show.
Hello, hola, and buenas, and welcome back to another episode of Laguna Galaxiana, a podcast always made with love for all you LA Galaxy fans out there, wherever you may be, and all you international soccer fans as well, because we are talking about the Leagues Cup. Today, we'll be bringing you our reaction to the LA Galaxy's 8-7 loss in penalties to Cruz Azul after ending tied 1-1 in regulation on Sunday, August 3rd at the Digs, a result that could have gone either way as both teams had chances to score more than once. We'll take a look at how the Galaxy weathered Cruz Azul's fast start, how LA dealt with some suspect refereeing. We'll also take a look at some suspect finishing by the G's and what the Galaxy have to play for now on Thursday against Santos Laguna in wake of the loss, which we'll cover towards the end of the show in our preview of Thursday's final group stage game of the Leagues Cup, plus the prince who was promised inches ever close to his return. Yes, the maestro Riqui. When will he be back? All of that and more coming up on Laguna Galaxiana. But before we go any further, let me introduce myself. I'm one of your co-hosts, Rob Halon. You can find my written work at the Sporting Tribune and Extra Time Talk. And of course, el papá de Natita y el yerno guapo está también aquí y también estaba conmigo en las gradas en el estadio ayer. If you didn't catch that instant match reaction video, go ahead and go check it out, and you'll get us live, raw, and unfiltered just moments after postgame. But that co-host is named Ananda Kidana. Okay.
I was like, when's that gonna end? When's that gonna keep going?
Yeah. I was gonna hit you with the classic football chant, like one Andy Kirana.
There you go.
Yeah. So that's the classic right there.
Nice. But no, man, good to be back with y'all. Definitely go ahead and catch that instant match reaction for sure. Those have been really fun, and we're gonna continue doing that during the Leagues Cup, and hopefully the Galaxy will give us more than one more instant reaction, right? Depending on how far this team goes. But yeah, pretty crazy game. I mean, pretty intense. It was a battle. I mentioned in the instant reaction, it was a battle for the 90 minutes plus penalties, and it was a battle both on and off the pitch, and we'll get into some of that as well, because I think it was a very interesting dynamic of what was going on at Dignity Health Sports Park last night. As we said in that reaction, the Galaxy felt like we were the visiting team, right? And that was interesting to say the least. We'll parse that out a little bit as we get into the reaction, but let's you know how we do on the show. We got to get into that one-word match reaction, and building off of what I just said. There's there's so many twists and turns and topsy-turvy things going on in this match, but I think for me, the one thing that was consistent for the 90 minutes plus for me was intense, and that's my one-word match reaction. It was a very intense match. I thought it was intense both on the pitch and off the pitch. I thought that it was intense in terms of some of the, shall I say, heated skirmishes that happened throughout the match. So yeah, that's going to be quick and simple. One-word match reaction, intense. There are some other ones, and we might pluck out some of those themes as we talk through this reaction. But like I said, it was intense because it was one of those matches that for me as a fan, even though there was like 80 to 90% Cruz Azul fans there, like I was pretty animated. Like I got really into the match. Like it was el ambiente que falta,
Yeah.
right? Recientemente, it was there. It was electric, right? And again, I'm going to save that part for later, but yeah, intense match for sure.
What can I hit you with my one? Infuriating. I mean, there was a lot to be desired from the referee Alex, who decided that he was going to make himself the protagonist, that he wanted to play and be the headline and the star of the show, and not let the players star. We'll get into that more, but yeah, just infuriating. Just I was very, very upset for Joseph.
Yeah,
and it just
and you had to stay impartial through the whole thing. I couldn't do it, Papa.
no. I lost my head at one point. Like I was actually telling my suegro today. I was like, it was the first time I lost my head in quite a while. Where it just like it was in the first half where they basically just like wrestled him to the ground. And then he got a yellow card, and I got up and like I just held my hand and like held my hands, and I was like, "Ay Dios mío, qué pasó?" And I look at my left, and Will's standing there, like, and he's like,
"That's funny."
He's all upset too, man, and just like, yeah, no, it was terrible officiating. I mean, Carlos Segovia's comment here. It says, I was sitting in 120th section, and what I saw, the ref was horrible, but also the team also falls in fault for not finishing chances. That's basically, that's basically the. You know what? We can go home now. Carlos Segovia did our
thanks, Carlos.
And
you should get on these. You should get on these hot mics, Carlos.
Yeah, come on. You know what? Don't come on, man. But no. Yeah. Basically, that's a very succinct way of summing up what happened in this match. Point. I mean, ref was terrible. It was a very physical game. Ref wasn't up to snuff and putting his authority in the game in the right way.
Oh, we'll get to all those points, man.
And then the Galaxy, yes, they couldn't finish their chances. But yeah, Ananda's right. We'll get into all that stuff.
So you guys can vent more. Save your vents till later, guys.
So that was our one-word match reaction. Go ahead and start dropping yours if you haven't done so already. Let us know what you're thinking about this match. Let us know how you're feeling post penalties. I mean, we were sitting there, Ananda, and we were hearing fans go through like some of the harshest angst. I was like, oh man, these Bloods are gonna drop an emo track. Like they were just going through like so much angst, like so much hurt. I was like, oh man, like I feel bad for this cat behind me. I literally thought he was gonna pass out. But anyway, if you are watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. We do appreciate it. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you're watching us on X or Twitter, if you're watching us on Twitter or Instagram, yeah, the birdie. If you're watching us on Twitter or Instagram, thank you so very much. Go ahead at some point, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as well. We will love you forever. We'll give you a cookie, and Ananda will take a shot with you. All of the above, you know what it is. And then keep letting people know about this humble little pod. We will love it forever. Like I said, if you need to say something, if you need to get something off your chest, if you just need to vent, if you're just like upset about something Galaxy related, and please let it be something Galaxy related, drop those super chats. Let us know what you're feeling, how you're feeling, or what question you have, and we'll make sure to go ahead and shout it out here on this podcast. Ananda, we were recently on a couple of different podcasts, guest starring. We were hanging out with the homie Peyton on with Galaxy Buzz on Talking Galaxy, and then we were hanging out with Jose Bromigos on Goals TV for a cool transfer video in which we took turns being Brujos a couple of times.
Look at this graphic here, little
yeah, exactly. The only one missing is Timo right there. So and then we were also hanging out with the Nag Boys a couple of days ago at the beginning of the Leagues Cups. So go ahead and check that one out as well. Some cool stuff happening at the digs, besides Ananda and yours truly being there. But Pups at the Pitch is back Sunday, August 10th versus Seattle. This is the next opportunity for you to bring your four-legged friend out there if you haven't already. 2 more chances to do so if you don't hit the 10th. August 30th versus FC Dallas, which is Saturday, and then September 20th versus Cincy, also a Saturday. And the September 20th match is an opportunity to take your doggy to Galaxy Dog Park for the day. And fans can expect all kinds of pup-centric activities, vendors, treats, a bunch more. I know that young Natita will be there, and most likely young Kobe will be there as well. Tickets can be had for $35, and if you're a season ticket member, you get it for free in your fan account. You just got to add it. It's throwback time as well on the 10th. It's 2005 throwback pricing. Hot dogs, sodas, popcorn, churros are all going to be throwback pricing, and even Ananda, maybe I'm just real cheap, bro. But I mean, that's $4 for a churro. I mean, come on, blood. Like I can go to Costco. I can go to Costco, dog. Like, come on, man.
I was about to throw shade right now too. I was like, hey, I can get a 3-for-1 deal at Costco right now.
Exactly.
But let's not throw shade. Let's not throw shade.
No, that's cool that the prices are coming down. Like
we're spitting facts. So
that's a step in the right direction. Keep on going. And then also that night, G's early attending G's can go ahead and pick up one of the 5,000 rings, replica rings, to celebrate the 2005 championship that are being given away. Again, get there early if you want this. There has been a situation already with rings this year. Let's not have a second situation. Let us not add to another thing. So anyway, get there early if you want this. 2005 throwback pricing, and kind of just like a celebration of that 2005 championship team. Kobe's going to be out there. Todd Donovan's going to be out there. Different food trucks and stuff like that. So go ahead and celebrate the 2005 team. Enough said about that. Oh, I guess not actually, because Ananda threw me a curveball here. Actually, you did tell me about Twizzle, but Twizzle and his retro collection is going to be at the LA Galaxy team store. So, guys, if you are a Cosmo fan and a Cosmo fan only, then maybe you don't really mess with Twizzle. But I mean, I think there's room in your life for both. Maybe we got to ask Cosmo like how he feels about Twizzle honing in on his territory. Who knows? But anyway, Twizzle retro collection is here. It's dropped. It's going to be at the LA Galaxy team store, and you can pick it up now. Switching gears really quick. Yeah,
switching gears. Before you switch gears, guys, Scott W., being our prime minister out there, bringing the minister of likes, the VP of likes, he said one like. Hit the friggin' like button, guys. Come on. We don't ask for much.
The friggin'.
Just hit the friggin' with double G's. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Scott.
Salud, baba.
Mad proper review. Salutes to you. Dang. Well, switching gears, like I said. The hot rumor in MLS right now, the one that's generating a bunch of headlines right now, is a son to LAFC. So this one has picked up steam. It looks pretty much done. Personal terms are being negotiated. Tom Bogert and Ben Jacobs are reporting that a deal has been reached already between LAFC and Spurs in the region of 20 to 26 million. I've heard 21, I've heard 23 in bonuses, I've heard all that kind of stuff, Ananda. So yeah, 20 to 26. This is any way you slice it, this is a seismic signing. We'll go ahead and debate the footballing merits here in a second, but this is still a big player internationally. It's a coup for the league. He's 33. I mean, he's not the youngest player, but he had different offers and he came to MLS. So I feel like this is a good signing for the league. Now, taking it into micro, what does this mean for the rivalry here in Los Angeles? Well, it remains to be seen. I mean, certainly the fan base there for LAFC is I mean, they're going to pick up that huge and fervent, just very passionate South Korean crowd now that they're going to be supporting Sonny over there. So, but what do you think, Ananda? Does this make LAFC now the favorites to come out of the West? I mean, we know what he's going to do in terms of marketing. I mean,
yeah,
kid's going to sell a lot of hits.
Home run.
You know,
No
this should
question.
be a sellout. I mean, everyone's going to be there covering. I mean, it's going to be a big affair, right? His debut is going to be a big thing, right? So, but that doesn't necessarily translate to success on the pitch. What do you think? Does this signing make them the favorites there in the West?
I think they're probably like a tier B. Like, so for example, I would consider, to me, still the top teams in the West, just based off of, because we always say the table never lies, right? Are San Diego and Vancouver. And Vancouver strengthened as well, right? At that position that you talked about in that transfer video in Goals TV, they got a number 10. I mean, they got a phenomenal number 10 at that. And their true number 10, their other DP has been injured all year. And who knows when he's going to come back. But if he does, like, that's look out, right? That's lights out.
He's coming back the same day as Riqui's coming back, and it's going to be like a implosion on MLS.
Right. And Ryan Gauld. So I think this probably my answer would change for only two reasons. Number one is, and this might be a hot take in my part, but
get him.
I think that if they would have signed a top level, at least for like this league, for example, a top level center back to replace Aaron Long, I think I would have put them more in the get out of the West conversation. That's number one. And number two, I don't think that Cherundolo, as the team is now, is going to get the best out of Sun, which is why I said if you guys go back, and again, this is a little plug for the Goals TV video, I guess, but I think him under a guy like Big Ange Postecoglou, who is an all-out attack, very high intensity, high work rate, sort of, push up the field type of coach, I think that would be interesting. But under Cherundolo, I haven't been convinced. And to be honest, like if we were to ask someone like Scarf, I don't think he's far off from me as well.
Well, kind of a sidebar. Interesting comment from Potamus. Our top players coming to MLS giving Galaxy the cold shoulder. I don't think that's the case, Potamus. They just don't have assets right now to spend. I mean, we were. Josh reported on this today. I mean, I was standing right next to him when he was having the conversation, with some Galaxy sources, and they were basically like, "Hey, if anybody's going to come in, that probably means that somebody has to go out, and we expect these kind of conversations or things like that to start picking up speed once the League's Cup ends, or at least this first round, and teams start refocusing on the league." So, no, I don't really think it's that top players are spurning them. It's just that they don't have the assets to sign anybody. Like, you got to get rid of something before you bring somebody in. So that kind of limits you to what you can do. But there are moves being made. There's the other big one here is it's another sash bomb here. Involving a Western Conference opponent, Djordje Mihailovic, to Toronto FC. But before we fully switch to Djordje, anything else to add here about Sonny to LAFC, Ananda?
No, I mean, what do you think? Does that make them instant contenders, or do you think, like I said, for me, in my opinion, San Diego and Vancouver are still just a cut above?
Yeah, I don't know if those teams are necessarily a cut above. I just don't think that his signing makes them instant contenders. Not because he's not a good player. He is, but
correct.
He is. I'm kind of on your line of thinking. That center back is something that they needed. They need.
I think that's huge
to shore up a defense that, let's face it, I mean, defense wins championships. And even the Galaxy's defense last year towards in the cup run shored itself up really, really nicely. And you don't have that captain right now. Sun is going to get his 10 and 10, no questions asked. But I mean, that's arguably the player on the wing that they were missing anyway. So they're just kind of, bringing in a player that, should be producing those kind of numbers right now. Like they're basically replacing, the skill set or the production numbers of like a Carlos Vela or the Rossi and stuff like that. These players that they lost, that they never quite really replaced their quality. they're getting that in Sun now. But
Yeah.
again, I think the real win here is in the marketing here. I mean, this just opens up MLS
That's
to
no question. No
to
question.
a huge new market. LAFC is, so I read a comment on Twitter the other day. They're going to stop playing La Chona and they're going to start playing K-pop. And, I mean, that's bloody awesome, man. I mean, I am looking forward to when I go cover a match there, being able to try all the tasty treats. I mean, again, when we were on the Ghost TV video, I said that this was good for competition. This is good for the league, and it's good for the Galaxy in the respect that if they are going to be the team that they say they want to be, they need to be top teams with top players, and this is a rival and right in your backyard. So, yeah, I mean, I don't hate it, and I like I said, I think it's good for the league. But back to Djordje Mihailovic to Toronto FC. Apparently, per our colleague Matt Pollard, Mihailovic asked to leave. Toronto made 2 bids, and then Mihailovic was like, "Hey, but let me go," and they finally conceded his wish. And even though they tried to talk him out of it, Colorado, that is, gets more than market value for a good player. Toronto FC hits a reset with a proven successful player in MLS. However, Colorado fans are upset. He was a fan favorite there. I mean, this is not a good look for this Colorado team, who played a lot through Mihailovic, and who knows what's going to happen to them. Are they going to fizzle out? Are they going to be able to withstand this change? But $8 million is kind of hard to pass up. $1 million in add-on and a sell-on percentage. And Ananda, maybe you could tell us a little bit more about this, this move in light of another signing that Colorado makes.
Yeah, well, I think they've been moving. Of course, I don't think this is the move that they wanted to make in terms of Djordje leaving, right? And so 2 bids, then he asked to leave. I think the writing was on the wall, and maybe it was an untenable situation. But they did pick up ex-Premier League and Arsenal center back English defender Rob Holding to kind of show up the back line for him. This is not a surprise for me, Rob, because given the ties with Arsenal and the Cronkies and KSE Group, who, by the way, are the owners of the Colorado Rapids, right? This should not come as a surprise. But man, I think they are going to fizzle out without Djordje. Djordje was clearly their best player. I mean, we saw him last year in the playoffs. He was the engine, right? As Matt Pollard likes to say, shout out Matt. He's the straw that serves a drink for their team, just like Riqui Pooch for us. So big loss. And man, it'll be interesting. One thing that I wanted to say about this move, Papa, this is yet another win, another example of the cash for trades lever, the rule that was imposed this year. And these are sort of the tweaks again, as we talk about the larger MLS salary cap and sort of that format. This is just another win. And so these little tweaks, these little rule changes, we're not talking drastic changes here, just stuff that keeps and incubates talent within the league. So that really, really helps.
Yeah, no, this is an example of MLS actually making a rule that's helping teams that are utilizing it well. But one comes in, one comes out, and it's a big player that leaves for Colorado. Certainly those fans are upset. What do you think, Ananda? Do they have a right to be upset? I mean, $8 million is kind of hard to pass up. I mean, if you look up his stats, he is that is, again, above market value for this player. So you got a good chunk of change for this player.
The answer would be yes, because they don't have a replacement, or at least a ready-made replacement, right? So, I mean, I don't know where Colorado, I want to say they're just outside the playoff line, or just like sort of at that 8-9 position. I haven't looked at the standings as of, I'm going to look at it right now really quick. Rob, they're in 9th. They're still in a playoff hunt. And now you just lost your best player. So to me as a fan, that would infuriate me, actually. Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I was a Colorado fan. Yep.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I mean, if you're in the hunt and then you lose your star, I mean, what does that tell your fan base? On the flip side, what does it tell your fan base when you bring in a proven U.S. men's national team goalkeeper like Matt Turner, who's returning to the New England Revolution. He had signed with Lyon, but since Lyon is going through a relegation battle, and I don't mean in the stands, but in the courts, they are loaning him to the New England Revolution. He is the DP this year, TAM in 2026. This is a goalkeeper who, played for your team, Ananda, the Arsenal. Didn't have the greatest time there, didn't last that long there. What do you think? Is this a good move for him to come back to the U.S. men's where he got kind of like his acclaim and his fame and maybe a chance to revive his career?
Well, I do have an opinion on it. And again, you guys can go ahead and check out that Goals TV video. I'm going to link the description or link it in the description. But I definitely talked about Turner in terms of, I'll say this. It could go either way for him. But what's clear is this is a big move. This is like, I think, because he's only not been at Arsenal. He's been at Nottingham Forest. He's been at Crystal Palace, Rob. He's been in a few places and it hasn't worked. So this is sort of like the last resort. Does his career go in the way of Zach Steffen, or does it go in the opposite way? I think this is a big, I would say 12 months for him, especially if he wants to get back in the national team picture.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, more than anything, he needs to play if he wants to be the number one for the World Cup coming up. So good luck to Matt Turner. I mean, the U.S. men's national team needs him to be solid. But anyway, I think this is since you mentioned the Goals TV video and how that link is going to be in the description and everything, I think it's a good time to remind folks to maybe subscribe. We're on the hunt for 700. We're at like 670 or something like that, and with your help, we're going to get there. Remember to tell your tío, your tía, tell your crush. I mean, your crush is going to probably not like you after you tell them, but I mean, thank you for doing it anyway. And we really appreciate the help and just want to show love to everybody that's in chat right now. Let's get into this match reaction, Ananda. Mm-hmm. So we pulled up to the digs, my father-in-law and I, and we were greeted by waves of blue. Waves of blue. Yeah, waves of light blue, not
galaxy blue. Exactly,
not galaxy blue. Waves of light blue. You mentioned already that the atmosphere was very festive. It was electric even. I mean, estuvo la fiesta bien puesta, and
right.
Yeah, I mean, just right. even pulling up, I had to bring down the windows, man. Just be like, all right, cool. I'm digging the vibe. It kind of made me a little sad for the supporter groups, and made me think like, man, I hope that one day they get back in the stands and everybody involved is able to resolve. I sure do miss all the supporter groups, but anyway,
I agree.
Like I mentioned, this was a very, very pro Cruz Azul crowd. I would estimate that it was probably like 70-30. What do you think, Ananda?
Yeah, but I was gonna say about 3/4, so right around there.
Yeah, so I mean,
I judge that by the reactions to the goals, like how loud that reaction was to Cruz Azul. I mean, the Galaxy fans were loud too, but it was nice to hear, they not like us. Like I love, like that's why the other day at the Tijuana game, like that was so fun. I listened to Kendrick 5 times and it was awesome. It was like the old days. So that was nice.
But you couldn't really escape it. I mean, it didn't feel like a Galaxy home game. It felt like they were the visitors, definitely. Just the vibe didn't even really feel like a Galaxy home game. And we were walking around, or I'm walking to the press box, and I saw, just like I mentioned, a wave of blue, and so I made a conscious effort to try to count how many Galaxy jerseys I counted in like the stretch that I was walking, and I counted like 7, but it was overwhelmingly like probably like 40 Cruz Azul jerseys that walked by. So that's what the Galaxy were up against, a hostile crowd. We'll talk about a hostile referee here in a moment, but let's start where we normally start, and let's talk about a starting lineup. Ananda, what did you see in this one?
Yeah, pretty interesting lineup, right? We'll talk about the Cruz Azul side because you look at that on the right and you're like, what the heck is that? Is this like tic-tac-toe? Like, what is that formation, right? That's the first thing that popped into my mind.
It was effective, though, dog.
We'll talk about that effectiveness in a little bit. But I think, look, the big headlines for the Galaxy in terms of the start. So I think the omission of Nacimiento and the, I guess, moving of Marco Reus to that false 9 position, and Sanabria got that start in midfield, partnering Diego Fagundez and Edwin Cerrillo. Vanny talked about it post-match. He wanted that a little bit more bite, a little bit more mobility, a little bit more physical, nature of that midfield too, because we knew that Cruz Azul was going to be a very high dueling, intense team, right? And we saw that with their man-to-man press. Like, it was really effective. Again, we might talk about Lucas's performance here in a little bit.
We got to talk about Lucas's performance, man. I'm sorry to say,
let's jump to it. Let's jump to it. We're there.
I'm sorry to say, kid looked lost at times, man. I mean, there was several points where his teammates were kind of directing him where to go, and you would think that by now he would have picked up a little bit more on the system. But I mean, I like the player. A lot of people that I've spoken to just have just shit on him, but like I like the player. I mean, I wrote I spent a lot of time researching this player when I wrote an article about him when he signed for the Galaxy, and I mean, just by nature of like the fight and everything he had to overcome to become a player, it's like I like him.
Yeah,
but he just hasn't. He's shown glimpses. He just hasn't shown that definite consistency or the ability for Greg to be able to call upon him in these games. I mean, in Tráfico, he came on in the first half, was subbed at the half. And this one also subbed at the half, right? It subbed at the half.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that Greg is burning a sub, right? I mean, unless he's okay with. But I wouldn't be. Give me a good 65 or 70, son. Like, I can't be just throwing you out there for a half, But I mean, I like the player. He just wasn't up to the pace yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't really been up to the pace consistently all year. And you know what, Rob? This is one of those things where we kind of expect every signing to be a home run. We expect especially U22s, DPs, and the reality is, like, we're going to hope that Will Kuntz gets it right 9 out of 10 times, but he will get it wrong once or twice. And don't get me wrong either. I don't think that we can fairly judge him. It's
right. Jury's still out.
It hasn't even been a whole season yet, but what's clear is it's taking time for him to adapt to this team. And I think there's been a lot of things along the way. I think that shoulder bone or the collarbone injury did not help one bit. I think that totally screwed up sort of the plans that Greg had to integrate him into this team. But
and we haven't seen him with Riqui.
I was just about to say that. I think that's one of the biggest sort of thing that Lucas is facing right now. And he's a young player. Remember this. I think it's just his positional awareness, especially on those build out moments. And maybe it's, to me, what I'm guessing is trying to get inside the psyche of the player a little bit is I think he's so afraid not to make a mistake, Rob, that when he gets the ball, he's not showing personality. You saw it every time he came deep, him and Edwin would come deep and get the ball. Right. But his first instinct is to pass back to Novak, right? So that was one thing that I saw. The other thing that I saw was just Greg was shouting at him, Julian was shouting at him, Edwin was shouting at him. So I think just his positional awareness is lacking in terms of, where he needs to be, especially against man-to-man presses. So that's the biggest thing that he's struggling with. But you're right, the attributes are there. The physical attributes are there. We see him get stuck in challenges. But
I think it needs time.
Sometimes, Rob, with these young players, it's not the mental side. What's the right word for it? Just like some players, they have the footballing brain, they have the footballing IQ, and some players just have it, and some players take time to develop that. And I think that's where Lucas is. It's taking time for him to it's taking time for him to develop that footballing IQ, especially in Greg Vanny's system right now. And I think we just got to be patient as fans, unfortunately. Which is not an easy thing for us to do, I know.
Well, he got the start. in place of Nacimiento, who had been playing pretty decent ball, which means Marco Reus was deployed kind of as a false nine. Yamane came back in the lineup over Mauricio Cuevas, who we spoke to Greg about this change, and he said that he kind of wanted to rest Mauri's legs a little bit. And
Boy, I'm glad he did.
And Zanka stayed in the starting lineup over Maya Yoshida, who was back in the lineup, and we did see him towards the end of the game. But that was pretty much the starting lineup. Ananda, would you have done anything different?
No, because man, these games are coming thick and fast. We've got another game in 3 days, and then another game in 3 days, and then if we make it to the next round, I want to say that's a midweek game, right, Rob, for the quarterfinals. I have to look at the schedule again, but these games are coming thick and fast. So you have to expect rotation. I would expect
and a trip to Miami.
And a trip to Miami, exactly. So I would expect the next game we're gonna do a little mini match preview towards the end, but I would expect some changes there as well, because I mean, the players were absolutely knackered at the end of the game. We saw it. They were just hands on their knees, heads down, in terms of not heads down, but just like of exhaustion, right? They put so much into that game. So
no, for sure. No, I mean, we saw it with, I mean, the one that I noticed it most with Marco Reus.
100%. Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a moment. But
yeah.
A sidebar really quick. And I've been meaning to ask you this, actually. For the Galaxy's trip to Miami, are you going to put up your beachfront villa so we can go and go catch that match?
If anyone's a Rich Galaxy fan out in the ether, go ahead and hit up El Escudero de LA. That is his handle on Instagram and X. So
that's right. Let's go to Miami. Bienvenido.
Plug it.
Miami. Anyway, so if you didn't watch this match, you missed an exciting one. The Galaxy kicked on from their 5-2 win over Tijuana, and they earned a 1-1 draw in regulation against CONCACAF Cup champions Cruz Azul, and then they quickly got brought down to earth by losing in penalties 8-7. Charlie Rodriguez put Cruz Azul on the board first after a good passing move by the Mexican team in the first half. After playing it out wide, this was a lovely passing move and a really good motion from Cruz Azul. About 3 players made runs in the box, only for the cutback pass to find Rodriguez in space, who had only to strike the ball cleanly past Mitrovic for the 1-0 on 17 minutes. But this is kind of indicative of what we've seen of the Galaxy already. I mean, this goal happens in the 17th minute. A couple minutes before that, Marco Reus has a moment where he's alone in on goal, and he kind of scuffs his shot. And you don't expect that from this kind of player. But we'll see later that it wasn't the only such moment from this player. So this one ends 1-0 at the half. It's not looking good for the Galaxy at the half. They're kind of getting played off the pitch. The intensity is really getting to them. The crowd is really getting to them. Ananda, at halftime, do you think that there's a way back for the Galaxy, or what are your thoughts at the half?
Yeah, a really, really tough first half. I mean, I think we were pretty much outplayed for, I would say, 40 of those 45 minutes. I mean, we were literally, it was everyone hold your horses and let's get 8 men behind the ball, because Cruz Azul was just absolutely hammering us, hitting us to the left side, to the right side. They were really flooding their numbers. I mean, they had no other choice, right, if they wanted to stay alive in this tournament. And yeah, I think it was clear that changes need to be made, but I think it was I was just curious as to what Greg would do to change it up. I thought Nacimiento was definitely in the cards, and we saw that change coming out of the second half. And then I also thought, I wonder when is that time Mo Cuevas is going to come in there to just give him a different dimension, give them a different threat. Let that side of Cruz Azul make you think and be like, okay, the Galaxy are going to be dangerous down our left-hand side. Maybe we shouldn't push our wingbacks too high, or whatever that position is in that
That
tic-tac-toe,
3-3-3-1.
that 3-3-3-1, whatever that is. Whoever I forgot his name. 29 was in that first half. Man, he was all alone. He made that diagonal run like literally every time. And I was there with shout out Primo Alex with my wife's cousin from Barcelona, and we were literally like the space is right there every single time and behind.
That was Rotondi.
Rotondi, but it was him and Bogus and the other guy that was on the left-hand side. It was all three of them. And Rob, they were taking turns just making little diagonal runs. Sometimes the ball wouldn't come to them, but they would just keep making that run. And that was the space in the first half. And we just couldn't. The other thing is we couldn't get out. Like the Galaxy players were static as soon as they put that man-on-man press on, and we didn't know where the release valve is. And maybe people are wondering like, well, we faced this stuff last year and, the Galaxy were able to do well. Well, guess what, guys? We had the ultimate cheat code last year with breaking presses which is the prince who was promised, right? So he's literally like a cheat code for breaking presses. So I'm not surprised, especially when you come up against a top-class opposition like Cruz Azul.
Well, the half comes and goes. The Galaxy get out of the first couple of minutes. And mind you, I told my colleague, Anthony Bautista, the most important
shout out.
Yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to everybody at the Sporting Tribune. I told Anthony that the first 10 minutes of each half was going to be the most important, especially the first one. Those first 10 minutes were pivotal for the Galaxy. They were able to weather that storm. The game calmed down a little bit after that. It still stayed intense, but coming out of that second half, I told them the same thing. If they can weather the storm for the first 10 minutes, then they should be able to get into that rhythm again. They were able to do that. They got into that rhythm, and they could have had the equalizer through Joseph Paintsel, who bore down on goal one-on-one, only for a good save to be made. And Cruz Azul also had chances. They hit the crossbar.
Yep.
But then the Galaxy finally broke through. Greg Vanny makes the substitution, brings on the boy from South Central, Mauricio Cuevas. He puts in an early cross to our friend Gabriel Peck, who slides in to meet the ball, to put it away for goal and tie the game. Interesting note about Mauricio Cuevas, Ananda. I don't know if you caught this, because Ananda has been our video producer after I shoot these mixed zones after the games. But I mean, I don't know if you caught what Mauricio Cuevas and Shaquille O'Neal have in common.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Is it the both talk like this? So like you ask Mauricio a question and you're standing right next to him, and then and then my guy's like Mauricio, blah blah blah. And he's like, can you
I thought that was just your mic, Papa. I thought we needed to switch out mics because there's no volume in that thing.
All of us were just like, we were standing right next to him, like we couldn't hear him. I was like, but no, I mean, he's
still a young buck, man. He's still getting his PR training, so don't worry.
No, it wasn't even that. He just has that boom in his voice, bro. Like
right.
he has like a deep
that
voice. Yeah, like I said, that's what him and Shaq have in common. Remember when Shaq used to give interviews like post game, like Shaq, you played wonderful today. What do you think that led to the win? Like what, Shaq? I mean, they just have real deep voices, man. But anyway, that's enough of that. That's enough of that sidebar. Galaxy was finally able to break through, and it's because of this man with the deep voice, Mauricio Cuevas, who puts in the early cross, finds Peck. Peck puts it away for the 1-1. And honestly, Ananda, from there, the Galaxy, for me, was going toe-to-toe with Cruz Azul. And for me, I think even a little bit more on the front foot. They definitely had the bigger chances after Peck's goal. Not least the big one, the big one, which is Marco Reus having a breakaway in the final moments, only to kind of run out of gas there at the end and be closed down by the keeper, even though he had a nasty on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a tough one. Well, you know what? You know what I was saying about that though. On upon reflection, now that I look back at it, Rob, do you remember? I forgot when exactly this was. It had to have been. It was between the goal and that moment for Marco Reus. I seem to remember that there was a period where he was down and he needed some medical attention at that time. The trainers were out, and at that point, I actually thought he was going to get not stretched out of the game, but just taken out of the game because I thought he was just done for.
Right.
And so maybe to my surprise, having thought about that now, maybe he was just like, I'm just going to stay in just to like power through this, and we're going to go to penalties in a few minutes.
We spoke to Greg about this. He had no substitution windows left.
Well, there you go.
He had
otherwise he would have. So that goes to my point, which is he probably should have been subbed out. And so by the time that goal happens, that chance happens, he was running on fumes
on the last legs. The last legs,
100%. That's why the defender caught up to him.
However,
yes,
this man, Marco Reus, has the experience, has the quality to play that pass to your wide open teammate to the right. And in the wake of this defeat in penalties, I saw the comment by somebody that the thing that makes them mad about this team in particular is that they're too selfish. That there have been several instances by several players where they've had teammates in wide open positions and they haven't given up the rock. Right. And so this is just, for me, more evidence to that comment. We've seen it a couple times. I mean, by several players, not just Marco Reus. But you would expect that this player, who with all his experience and everything like that, he's like, hey, I got this, and he thought he was gonna be able to finish, and I mean, he was just closed down, like you said, he running on fumes.
He should have. To be honest, he should have just whipped that thing early, like whether it's the right, either side of the keeper. He has the quality to do it. But again, when you're on fumes, when you're on your last legs, I mean, decision making gets a little spotty. Again, a player of his experience, I wouldn't expect that. But you're right. I'd have to see that play again too. It's kind of a bang play. I thought he was honestly going to slot it home. I mean, it was that's frustrating.
He controls it. He controls it so well too. Like, he holds off the defender. Yeah. The first touch is good. He controls it well. Like I saw like one of the movements he made on the ball with his foot to kind of like control it. Man, this is when it happens, I just said, "Damn, you did everything right."
And that's why I had to look at the play again, because maybe Ant was said Mateus just was a little too far behind him. That's what I haven't looked at that replay, to be honest with you. But again, a bang play, but can't change it now. Can't rewrite history. It is. No,
you cannot. Yeah. And then Galaxy did have one final chance at the end, which was a penalty shout for Joseph Painter, which we'll touch on here in a moment. But following the conclusion of the second match day, the Galaxy rank 5th in the MLS standings with only the top 4 MLS teams advancing in 7 all-time Leagues Cup matches. They have a 2-3-2 record and 5 all-time matches played at the Digs. They hold a 1-2-2 record. And Sunday's match marked the second time that Cruz Azul and the Galaxy face off in all competitions. The Galaxy now trail the all-time series 0-1-1. In their last 10 matches, they have a 4-2-4 record. And in their last 6 matches played at home in all competitions, the Galaxy have a 4-1-1 record. They now have a 1-0-2 record in 3 matches played against Liga MX opponents at home. Gabriel Peck, notably, has recorded a goal in 3 consecutive matches played in all competitions dating back to July 19th, and 36 career matches played at home, and that's the Rose Bowl and the Digs. He has 29 goal contributions, 16 goals, 13 assists, and 4 goals and 1 assist in 5 career Leagues Cup matches played. So he likes his competition. That's a good
record, actually. Yeah,
definitely is. We've already spoken about this man, the sign of South Central. That's what I'm going to go with for him on this one. Mauricio Cuevas has 2 assists in his last 2 appearances, so he's repaying Greg Vanney's faith in him by producing. Ananda, You've been trying out this one big stat thing, and I kind of like it. What's your one big stat for today?
I'll get to it in a second. I'm gonna run through the box score and then I will get to it. I think it'll lead into our first talking point beautifully. But if you look at, I'm just gonna run down the box score here. Like if you listen to Joe Totino and his post game, he always runs through the key stats. So I'm gonna try to do my best Joe Totino impersonation, I guess, but we'll never do him justice. Shout out Joe. 56% to 44% for the LA Galaxy in terms of possession. That was a pretty big one, Rob. 21 shots for Cruz Azul compared to the Galaxy's 4. Luckily, though, only 6 of theirs were on goal and 3 of ours were on target. Cruz Azul did have 5 block shots, so they definitely got stuck in. 505 total passes to the Galaxy's 399, 88% pass accuracy to 84% for the LA Galaxy. 5 corners, Cruz Azul. 14 total crosses. Man, like they just really peppered us. 2.4, Rob, to 0.9 expected goals. So you could see the dominance in the play. But here is my one big stat that's going to lead to the first talking point, Papa, which is 7 big chances. Sorry, 7 big missed chances between both teams. Cruz Azul had 4 big chances missed. LA Galaxy had 3. And I think this was, for me, the big takeaway. If you listen to that instant reaction video that we did at full time from Dignity Health Sports Park, this was a missed opportunity. And ironically, for me, looking back at it in hindsight, it was a missed opportunity for both teams. You talked about it. Cruz Azul hit the post one time, had a couple of, Mitrovic actually made a couple of really good stops, especially in
Really
that
good
first
ones.
half
Yeah.
when we were getting peppered. So shout out to him for having, I thought, a solid game. Penalty kicks aside, which we might talk about a little bit, but penalty kicks, 50-50 chance. It's kind of, it is a little bit of luck. You just kind of hope and pray at that point. But yeah, it was a missed opportunity from both sides. But don't take it from me. Don't take it from Rob. Take it from someone who played on that pitch, someone who was in La Cancha, and that was midfielder Diego Fagundez. And there was a very young, inquisitive, and I don't know if he's good looking or not, but, we'll find out. Journalist that asked Diego the question of, whether he thought that there was points left on the table.
Oh, dang. No, he definitely not good looking, but you know what? He got a good heart, though. Hey, really quick. So this clip is in Spanish. This clip is in Spanish, so we'll do our best to translate for you guys right afterwards.
Absolutely. But here is your LA Galaxy midfielder, Diego Fagundez.
Diego, llegaron a oportunidades hoy día, lamentablemente no pudieron convertir. ¿Crees o sientes que dejaron puntos en la mesa?
Creo que los dos equipos, no solo nosotros, pero ellos también. Creo que en los primeros minutos Marco tiene esa que le queda clara y capaz que si es otro día la clava al ángulo. Después a lo último también los quedó 1 o 2 que también tenemos que hacer los goles esos para terminar los partidos y tal. No fue el día de nosotros, pero como le dije, hay que estar feliz con el grupo porque peleamos hasta lo último y después se decidió en penales y ahí es, pero suerte.
Yeah, basically, Diego's talking about how both teams left points on the table. He says that Marco has that opportunity there at the beginning, and maybe on another day he hits the angle, and they're talking about something different. That they have 1 or 2 other chances there to get goals that they don't take, but fortunately that they're still in a good position in the group. And then I kind of lost. The very last thing of what he said. What would he say right there at the very end?
He was just he's at the end he was just happy that the team kept fighting and they got at least a point out of it, and that's about it. But guys, that was they do this mixed zone thing for the Leagues Cup in terms of the coverage, and we've been trying to get as many of those interviews as you can. So that was taken out of a video that we posted last night. So go ahead and, again, just to plug all of the Leagues Cup coverage that we're doing for you guys, go ahead and check out that full interview. I think you did one with Diego. There was 2 interviews, one in Spanish, one in English, and then you did a couple after the Tijuana game. I think that was with Zanca, Mo Cuevas, and I think JP because he had a stellar game that game.
Time out. We found out that the captain, Maya Yoshida, just had a child. So congratulations to Maya and his family. Our well wishes to the captain. We got another little G in the community.
Nice.
That's awesome. So yeah, congratulations to his family. But not congratulations to the referee. It's time, Ananda.
grill him.
Let us eviscerate this fool. I mean, it was obviously always going to be a physical match, a match with a certain element of gamesmanship, intense. Byproduct of the physical match, it was going to get chippy at points. You knew there was going to be fisticuffs at some point, or at least some pushing, and that's exactly what happened. There was 27 fouls in this match. Amongst them, a bunch of them perpetrated on Joseph Paintsill, who was getting hacked all game long. There were instances of him getting hit, getting kicked. There was one at the very beginning, I think I already mentioned that. Yes, I did mention where I stood up and I lost my cool in the press box, and I was like, what is going on? ¿Qué está pasando? Like, and my man Joseph Paintsill was the one who got the yellow card. I mean, the refereeing was atrocious. I mean, I don't even know what else to say on. I mean, from your perspective, what were you seeing? What was going on in the crowd?
I mean, obviously there was just a lot of like booing and name calling and all that good stuff against her. I mean, the ref was absolutely taking pelters from both sides, not just the Galaxy, right? I think he failed to control the tempo of the game. It was interesting though, like ironically, I felt that like as the game went on, there were a couple things that he started like being a little bit more lenient on, because I feel like all the, I'm gonna call it a hack of Joseph, happened in the first half, right? But everything just led up to that penalty shout. I mean, and let's just get into that for a second. To me, that was a clear penalty. I need to see the replay of it again from multiple angles, but I mean, the guy literally like, you know, takes him and hooks him basically with his arm. The only thing that I wasn't sure of at the time was, did the foul occur just outside the box and then he fell inside, or I don't know. I'd have to look at it because like I said, I haven't taken a second look.
I looked at it a lot last night. I mean, it was like 2 a.m. I was sitting here looking at this replay and like every conceivable speed, any angle that I can. And I'm pretty sure that he's just outside of the box, but it definitely should have at least been a foul. I mean, you would like to think that somebody like Diego Fagundez or Marco Roy steps up,
right,
to hit that, and they got a good chance on goal. Criminal that it doesn't get given. But I mean, it was just part of the course for a kind of like an evening that, again, the atmosphere was electric, but it didn't feel like a Galaxy game, and definitely didn't feel like a Galaxy game when the chant was just very, very loudly heard on one of Michovic's goal kicks. You would think that, you know, the Leagues Cup or CONCACAF would say something about this, but nothing was said, no announcement or anything like that. Instead, what I think they did, Ananda, was every time there was a goal kick, just play music to kind of try to drown it out.
Absolutely.
And it made the atmosphere, then it started making the atmosphere weird because you were like, why are they playing music every 5 seconds? Like, what's going on here?
Everyone had that same inquisitive look that you just had.
Yeah, right, I was like, what's going, like, when it started happening, I was like, what's going on, blood? Like, I mean, like, some of them were bops, I'm not gonna lie. Like, they I mean,
I remember one distinctly. You're like, hey, if you know about this jam, if you know, kind of thing.
We're going to
oh my God. I don't know the name of the song.
La Bota, fool. Come on.
Yeah.
La Bota. Oh, La Bota's the jam,
that's
bro.
The jam.
Dude, there's a whole like playlist that I have with like songs deep like cuts. La Bota, like La Vaca.
Not even a deep cut. Yeah.
Oh man, like, anyway, I'm gonna slide you that playlist. You'll dig it. Anyway, let's get back to pooping on this referee, because he was, again, he was absolutely atrocious. We did hear from our good friend from NAG, Edgar Nag, that this referee had only refereed league games before, had not really ever done international competition, and it shows. He was not up for the challenge. And honestly, if players can be criticized and their performances can be criticized, so too kind of referees. And honestly, I feel like this referee needs to be looked at. His performance was that bad. I mean, in 200 and however many shows, 214 shows that we've done it on, I've never really harped this badly on a referee. I've never called for a referee's conduct to be looked at, even though we have people like Jared Marufo, refereeing at MLS. I've never not even called for that on him.
Penso,
but
Penso,
but not even on him. But Calix was just on another level bad, and I'm just gonna say it. I feel like he was lightweight racist to Joseph.
The JP thing was criminal, man. Like, just he was getting hacked, absolutely hacked. Well, the one I think Alex Ruiz, shout out Alex. I think he reposted a clip of the yellow card that got called against Joseph. But you clearly see the Cruz Azul player retaliating and leaving a leg out and kicking him in the shin or whatever.
Right.
And Joseph got the yellow card. So that was criminal.
Eso lo que te digo. And then, when we saw him in the mix zone, he was just upset, just very, very upset. And
yeah,
he had every right to be. But like our good friend Carlos said at the top of the show, refereeing was terrible. Galaxy didn't take their chances, and they didn't. And they didn't take their chance either in the penalty shootout. We have a super chat from the homie Adam, who says,
Adam.
Gracias. Says, I felt Paintsel was selfish yesterday. Vanny could have done a goalkeeper rotation for the two matches like Houston and Columbus did. Any concern on Mitrovic not saving PKs? I don't know if Paintsel was selfish. I'd have to go back and look at the tape. I certainly didn't think that during the game.
I didn't think so either. Yeah. The one-on-one, he should have taken it, and he just didn't finish it. But man, a beautiful nutmeg on that right side, and then he just couldn't finish it. So
Vanny could have done a goalkeeper rotation for the two matches like Houston and Columbus did. He was asked about that, Adam, and he said that he wasn't thinking about that yet, but it is a possibility if they progress in the tournament. Any concern on Mitrovic not saving? Because yes, especially because he didn't look particularly close on any of them. Greg also addressed that in the post match, and he said that maybe Novak took them a little bit too straight up, like he didn't engage in any like mind games or gamesmanship or anything like that. Whereas you very clearly saw the Cruz Azul goalkeeper do so.
But yet, maybe Ant said in chat, he did save, if I'm not mistaken, one or two. I want to say two pens
last year against Guadalajara. Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those things. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I was a little disappointed in his performance. I thought he was actually not even just the PKs, Rob. I don't know if you thought this or as the game went on, but his distribution maybe isn't as good as I thought. Maybe I'm being harsh, but I don't think his distribution was great yesterday.
That's another one that I didn't really
didn't look comfortable on his feet. Didn't look comfortable on his feet. Not yesterday.
Oh well, no, definitely. I mean, if you're referencing specifically that, no, I mean, but not a lot of the players looked comfortable getting the ball. I mean, the Cruz Azul was doing really, really well at being active with their press, and so the Galaxy didn't look comfortable getting the ball or playing out of the back. I mean, there were several instances where they were trying to play out of the back and they played it out, or they directly gave it up to Cruz Azul. But despite all that, again, both teams had chances. Ends 1-1, goes penalties, puts us all through that angst, only for Cruz Azul to end up 8-7 wins. But for them, it's going to be too little, too late. I mean, they have the 2 points. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to get enough to go through the next round. But the Galaxy still have a shot. So what do they need to do? They sit just outside the cutoff line in 5th on 4 points with a +3 goal differential and 6 goals scored. If you're wondering what the tiebreakers are, it's number of wins in regular time, goal differential, most goals scored, fewest goals scored, and also who does the best up rock and break dance flair. So Ananda, what do you think? They need to take out Santos on Thursday, and they need to take out Santos in a big way. Can they get it done?
Yeah. I think they can get it done because Santos, we'll talk about it in a second, but they are a beatable team, right? Now, of course, it's always going to be a question of this team's mentality. Can they do it? They've got to get through the physical aspect of this too, Rob, because again, these games are coming in quick succession. We talked about how exhausted they were coming out of that game, and we'll see the rotations and the players that come in, they're going to have to do a job, right? They're going to have to play the 90 minutes. And
Yup.
but this is the one. So here's the one, like, really, really important detail, I think, and we'll explore this a little bit further in the preview, Rob. The great thing about Thursday and that particular match is LA Galaxy Santos Laguna is the last game that's slated in the Leagues Cup Phase 1 schedule.
Right.
So what does that mean? That means that the Galaxy have a slight advantage in that they know
what they need to do.
They know exactly what they need to do. And so I think the game plan or the attitude or whatever that is, they have to be hyper focused on that because now they have the advantage of they know what the lay of the land is. Okay, we need the 3 points and we need to score at least 2 goals or have the goal differential. Like they know exactly what to do. And so I think that's a huge advantage for the team that they got to take advantage of. On top of Santos Laguna, they have been officially eliminated from this competition. So how much stock do they put in this match, right? So I think they should go through if they don't shoot themselves in the foot, I guess. That's really the only way at this point.
Well, let's look at defending the badge winner for this match against Cruz Azul. Who you got?
Well, chat, go ahead and let's there you go. Go ahead and put your picks in your winners there in the chat because I don't let's see. Sorry, I was looking at
I like how in Joseph's picture he's literally being
he's literally getting hacked. Yeah, he's literally getting hacked. But so a couple of candidates that we put on the screen there. So Joseph Paintsil, they're getting hacked on the top left. Edwin Cerrillo, Gabriel Peck, and Mo Cuevas. I thought each of these guys had a really pivotal role. If you look at their FOTMOB stats, what's interesting about the FOTMOB stats for a second, Rob, is if you look at the stats, I think their ratings were anywhere between like 6 and 7.2 or 3. So not really that high, but they were all like 6s and 7s. So they weren't terrible, but they weren't spectacular by any means. But look, I'm going to be consistent. And I talked about this guy in my post match, but I have a couple. So maybe I'll start with this and maybe I might pick the other guy. I thought, despite his penalty miss, I thought Edwin Cerrillo was big in this game, Papa. One of the things that I noticed in this game, and maybe this is a credit to the larger team, is I think the spirit that they showed was really, really refreshing to see as a fan. And what I mean by spirit is there was moments in the second half where the game got chippy. There was clearly sort of bad blood that were starting to brew. Again, the referee didn't help in that respect, but the G's didn't back down. Edwin Cerrillo was one of those guys as well. Like
in every about that life,
in every little skirmish, Cerrillo was up in there. We know he's got that dog in him, right? And then Mo Cuevas was in there as well. There was one. Let me sort of recount to you 2 instances that I even made notes on in my phone when I saw this because I thought this was really important. One is Mo Cuevas on the right-hand side. He was going for a ball in the corner, and there was a guy, one of their defenders tried to impede Mo Cuevas, and Mo Cuevas just pushed right through him, and he pushed through him like 2 or 3 times, and I want to say that turned into like a little skirmish. The referee got in the way, etc. The other time that I saw, and I love this little shithousery bit from Julian Aude. Julian Aude lost a tackle on the left-hand side, but then he won it back, and then the ball went out. And when the Cruz Azul player tackled him, the Cruz Azul fans were like, "Hey," like they cheered for him. And then when he made the tackle back, he went to the crowd, took his finger, and went like this.
I didn't see that. I didn't catch
that. Man. So there was like that level of, I guess, pride, S-housery, like going all across the pitch. And for me, Edwin Cerrillo was that guy in the middle, man. He was super strong. I thought he was super, what's the word? Like he was available anytime that you needed someone to be brave on the ball, and that was Edwin Cerrillo for me. So I thought his role was, maybe a lot of people didn't see it, but I thought his role was huge in this match. So he gets my defending the badge.
I'm gonna go with Joseph, man. I mean, the ability to show the grace. I mean, I know a lot of people are gonna disagree with me and be like, "Oh, all he did was complain." Blood, if you were getting hacked, if you were getting blatantly disrespected and treated differently than any other player on the field, you would probably do the same. The fact that he didn't slap Calix is just admirable to me. Like, just absolutely, just I don't know. But for me, it's Joseph. I mean, he was a menace to Cruz Azul, kept them busy. One of the reasons that they had to hack him so hard is he was causing them a lot of trouble. Definitely should have at least drew a foul there in the dying moments. Had a potentially a penalty shout in the first half as well. But again, the fact that he went through all that while wearing the colors and stood up for the badge. I mean, yeah, it's my defending the badge.
Yeah, well, since we didn't talk about him, I wanted, because like I said, I had two. The other was Mocuevas. I mean, what does this kid have to do to get another start, right? I think he deserves the next start. Now, granted, I know it was for fitness reasons, right? Trying to keep him fresh. But I mean, look, Rob, this is another proud moment for the Galaxy fans now, because if this kid keeps developing on the way he is, I think he's going to be a top quality professional in this league. It was funny because he tried that early cross earlier in the game. And I even told my wife's cousin, I was like, dale, like, keep doing that. That's exactly what we need to do. We missed the first chance. He did it again, and we hit him the second time because Cruz Azul wasn't expecting that. And Mocuevas we know he has a wicked delivery on his right foot. So
really good ball.
And defending the badge, man, he has pride. Like him and Edwin Cedillo, absolute dogs on that pitch. But like I said, the whole team really showed that pride yesterday. So I was really happy coming out, I think, of Dignity Health Sports Park, just from that aspect too. Just team showed a lot of pride yesterday.
Well, I don't know about happy. They did drop the decision in penalties. They needed that extra point, but they did show some heart, and they did hang with a Cruz Azul team that was expected to come out and blow them out of the water. Now the Galaxy have everything to play for in their Thursday match against Santos Laguna, and 2 all-time meetings between those two teams. The Galaxy trails the series 0-1-1. In the first meeting, they played to a scoreless draw, but that was way back in 2015-2016 in the quarterfinal first leg of the Champions Cup at the Digs. And in the second meeting, the Galaxy took a 4-0 beating on the road to Santos Laguna at Estadio Corona. Now they have a chance to repay that favor. However, the Galaxy have not kept a clean sheet in 5 matches. What helps them, however, is that Santos have lost their last 4 matches. We've already kind of looked at the Leagues Cup standings. Seattle is in first, Portland in second, Inter Miami in third, and then Minnesota in fourth. Seattle and Portland on 6 points, Inter Miami on 5, Minnesota on 4, tied with the Galaxy on 4 points with the goal differential of +3 there. However, the Galaxy now know what they need to do to get through to the next round. And like Ananda said, they're going to be the last game of the round. So they have a distinct advantage. Ananda, we've been speaking to these players in the mix zone. Shout out, Josh. One of the benefits is that when you're up close and personal rather than, in the presser, you get to see like body language and like reactions to questions a lot clearer and stuff like that. And one of the things that I noticed the other day was that several of these players are mentioning Riqui more and more. Joseph, for example, said we're just waiting for. He mentioned him 3 times in one answer. And I think the telling quote was, "We're just waiting for our maestro now to come back." A bunch of the other players have mentioned him as well. For me, it feels like this is imminent. For me, it feels like it could be happening in the next couple of weeks. I mean, we still have him officially out injured. However, the Galaxy did include him on the Leagues Cup roster. However, if maybe that's for the second stage or second round if they make it. But I kind of feel like one of these days the Galaxy are gonna have a game. They're not even gonna make an announcement, and all of a sudden Riqui's just gonna be on the bench on the team sheet, and people are gonna lose their minds. Now, I've been a Brujo a couple times before. About a year ago, when Riqui got injured, I wrote an article about how he would come back either for this August 10th date against Seattle, so we can get his revenge on Christian Rodon, or on August 16th versus Miami, which obviously would be a big match, and he'd have an opportunity to hang out with his Barcelona mates and everything like that again. And since, again, you're putting up the villa, the beachfront villa, we're going to be at that match too. But for me, Ananda, it just feels like a matter of time before Riqui Puig is back. And I feel like it'll be a huge lift, not only on the field, but in the just like the general mood around the entire organization. It's not going to fix all ills, but it's going to definitely give the place a feel good feeling.
Yeah, don't get me excited, Baba. Don't get me excited, right? But that's the other thing, too, guys. Like one of the things that we've got to keep in mind is he's coming back off of a serious injury. He's not gonna come back like the same Riqui like that we know and love. It's gonna take him time. So that's the other thing that we got to temper our expectations as well. Like,
I hope he proves you wrong and he clips you, and then he's like,
I would love it. Whatever we need to use to get him to, that Riqui Puig that we all know and love.
You're gonna be Ricky's new internet. You're gonna be Ricky's new internet enemy, bro.
Hey, you know what? All good. I'll go with me, right? But no, man. Like I think we've got to temper our expectations for sure. But as you were talking there, I was just looking. Now, speaking about daring to dream, Rob, we know that. So you mentioned that the Miami match was on the 16th. Now, if we progress through the next round in Leagues Cup, the quarterfinals are set for the 19th and the 20th of August. Oof. The semifinals are set for the 26th and 27th, and the finals and third place match are set for August 31st. So could it be that the Stallion comes back and helps us win in the final of Leagues Cup? We can dare to dream, right? But I'm just throwing it out there.
Does it say where the final is?
It does not, but I swear I read something. I think you got to fact check this one, Baba. I want to say that there's a really good chance that the Galaxy would play at home for the rest of the tournament if they advance.
That would be luscious. Well, Riqui Puig, the only official injury for the Galaxy. Yoshida did make his return in the last match. Pedro Aquino is Santos Laguna's only missing player. The center midfielder had started 5 matches, 0 goals, 0 assists. I expect Greg to go pretty much with the same lineup as he did for the last match. Sans Sanabria, which will probably make way for Nascimento. And much you disagree?
I don't know if Royce is going to start, man. He just looked absolutely gassed. And I think just to protect him a little bit, probably bring him on. Like, look, since we know what the picture looks like, maybe just bring him on if we really need to push for an extra goal or something like that with goal difference, right, in the last 30. But I think Royce is going to start on the bench. I would love to see Nascimento back in there. I think that's going to be a change. So maybe Royce for Nascimento. And then we'll see who gets the midfield start. It'll probably be Sergio, Diego. But, man, some of these guys need breaks. I wonder if Yoshida comes back in for Zonka. Right. I'm pretty sure Mocuevas is going to get the start now over Mickey. That I'm pretty sure of based off of his play. There is going to be rotation, Baba. There's definitely going to be rotation. Now, look, it'll be interesting to see how Greg manages that too with the Seattle game coming up. But given our position in the league, he's going to take more priority, I would imagine, in the Santos Laguna game. So, but I still would expect a rotation, man. The Galaxy absolutely just played their hearts out, and just you could see the guys were gassed after that 90 minutes. Even in the penalties, like they were just hunched over the whole time, when they were waiting for the penalties. So,
fortunately, the Galaxy have a willing opponent in Santos Laguna. If they could ask for a better opponent to have a chance to run up the score and classify into the next round, well, they got it. Santos is that opponent. Currently, they're not doing too bad in the Liga MX standings, they are 11th place, but that is after 3 games, 1 win, 2 losses for 3 points, 5 goals for, 5 goals against for a 0 goal differential. However, that's just the beginning of the season, Ananda. This team has deep issues. I mean, 1 win in 11 matches, in their last 11 matches, right? So, I mean, if you're saying, oh, okay, well, maybe that's just like a recent skid. Wrong. Only 3 wins in their last 30 games, dating back to September 28th, 2024.
Wow.
And then if you really thought it was tough to be a Galaxy fan at the beginning of the year, only 5 wins in their last 46 matches. There's only been 3 draws in that time as well. So 8 results in 46 matches. Finished dead last in the Clausura last year, in the last half tournament that just ended in Mexico. 15th place. They only scored 15 goals, but they conceded 36. So there is a route for the Galaxy to go ahead and take this game and run up the score. However, one of the bright spots for this team is Carlos Acevedo, who is one of the Mexican national team goalkeepers. I mean, it would be just the Galaxy's luck for Acevedo to stand on his head and have just an absolute worldy kind of day. That's probably the one thing I'm most worried about, Ananda, is this man, Acevedo, who, again, is a pretty good goalkeeper. And if he's having a day, then it's going to be hard for the Galaxy to break through. Last term for Santos in the Clausura, Bruno Barticciotto was their leading goal scorer. He had 6 goals. Aldo Lopez was next with 3. Mind you, that's over a 17-game half season. Fran Villalba was the playmaker with 3 assists. So not too much production again, and just a team that only scored 15 or 16 goals last term. Currently, however, after 3 games, Ramiro Sordo leads the team with 2 goals, and they do have the Colombian Christian Djordje, who is an explosive and dangerous player, has moments of brilliance and real quality. So again, Ananda, the Galaxy have everything in this one to take this one. On paper, they should take it. Joe 13 Cool put out that word in a question mark.
Not today. I'm not feeling it today.
Y'all know how this works. We're gonna play for the Galaxy to win this match. They have to ... But let us know your predictions for who you think is going to win this match. If the Galaxy are going to win this match and get through, or is Santos going to play the spoiler and get the Galaxy knocked out? But before we get there, Ananda, for the Galaxy to win this match, they have to ...
Very simply put, just put him to the sword and put him to the sword early. I think we've got
to the sword.
Yep, put him to the sword, man. We got to kill him. Like literally,
Man.
like we got to have that.
You were watching Game of Thrones, huh?
Well, no, I channeled my, I guess, 2024 JP, and we've got to be killers.
Killers.
That's what he said in the post match, right? We've got to be killers, and we know this team has it in them. They put Club Tijuana to the sword to 5 goals, to the tune of 5 goals, right? So I think that's the same type of mentality we got to take into this game, is not let up, just be relentless, be absolutely relentless, especially on the attacking zone. And the good news is, like, we know what we have to do. We will know, the Galaxy will know what they have to do. So I think there's no other reason than to just be on the front foot, pedal to the metal, whatever other sayings you want to say, and absolutely put this team away early, so we don't have to worry about it as fans.
Ooh, Super One just said what I was going to say. Yeah, for the Galaxy to win this match, they have to be ruthless. They have to come out from the very, very first minute, and they have to take those chances. They can't be scuffing their lines. They can't be taking these half shots. They have to get out there and score early, set the tone. I'm going to tell you again, like Kobe told us one time, just run through his chest, man. Like, figuratively, not for realsies, but run through the chest figuratively. Like, you got to set the tone early. You set the tempo. You're at home. I mean, I have a fair feeling there are going to be a lot of Santos fans there as well. They do have a large fan base as well. I don't know if it's going to be quite as big as Cruz Azul, being
Probably
that
gonna be like Tijuana, like midweek game, right?
yeah,
Probably something similar.
but they're going to have a large crowd. So you got to remember, Santos is a legacy club in Mexico. They
Yeah.
Tijuana isn't as old a club. I think they're only like what 15, 20 years old. Tijuana hasn't been around that long. Santos has. They do have a very large fan base. So they're going to have fans out there. So the Galaxy might have to play through that again, and who knows if they might have to play through another ref as well. But yeah, they got to be ruthless. They have to go ahead and execute, take their chances, whatever, what have you. Just like you said, they need to be clinical. Like Adel said, ruthless aggression for sure. Did you and Dr. Raccoon have a chance to do some betting odds today?
I pulled these up. There wasn't a lot out there, and I think it's because it's super lopsided right now, Rob. And I think this is one of the websites that I got off of. It's super lopsided. Look at that, -250 for the Galaxy. That's probably why they probably took the bets off, because it's super lopsided. Weighted for the Galaxy. Look at that Santos Laguna, Rob, +550. I don't know what percentage that is, but that is a very low percentage, like in the teens, or maybe even less. So I think that's probably why they took the bets off, because not a lot of betting sites right now. Maybe it'll change over the next couple of days, but let's just put it this way: Galaxy are heavy favorites. We talked about all the reasons why. Santos Laguna, guys, which you guys have been talking about amongst yourselves in the chat, they are out of this competition. What else do they have to play? Like, what do they have to play for, right? I'm pretty sure they're just trying to get back to the league and trying to re-cement their position there in the league, Papa, and they're kind of over it. I mean, if some of the Mexican teams weren't over this Leagues Cup already, having to not play in Mexico, having to travel within the continental United, or within the country, right? Within the United States. I mean, remember, they just played a game, I think, against Seattle Sounders. So they're flying now from Seattle down to LA for this match. Again, this is why we got to put him to the sword. All the elements in this case now are to the Galaxy's advantage. So they got to take advantage of it.
Ooh, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Super 1, Loons play San Luis. Oh, yeah. You just said it. Yeah, they play San Luis Potosi.
Yeah.
Well, those are the betting odds. Since I went first last time, that means that you're going first on predictions.
Wrong again, because chat always goes first. So let me pull up some of the chats.
True.
Score predictions here. So Super 1 says Galaxy 3-1. Shout out Comments 96. He says, I like 3-1 as well. Joe 13 Cool says we need another +3 showing 4-1. I like that one. Maybe Ant says we need to finish with a 6+ goal differential to guarantee the spot in the quarterfinals. So that would be going back to the stand. Let me pull up my standings in, because I think we are at, what's our goal differential right now, Papa? +3?
+3.
Let me see. +3. Yeah. So that's right. Maybe, Ant, did you change your score prediction? Oh no, that is your score prediction. Wow. Big 5-0.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna go with 10-0 then, if that's the case. So shout out B Loves.
All right.
And we're gonna have to do this like Eddie. Anyways, I'm not gonna bring up what Eddie Nag said. That's gonna be for the next After Dark episode.
If people want to know, I guess they're gonna have to watch that episode.
They're gonna have to watch that episode. Link is gonna be in the description below, guys. But no, I do like the +3 shout. I think it is gonna be a +3 goal differential, Rob. Whatever that may be, 3-0, 4-1, 5-2, another 5-2. Hell, why the hell not? Yeah, I think that sounds about right. I think it's there for the taking. Again, look, if we put in, like, let's say a 2-0 performance at halftime, I think we're already going to break their spirits, right? Now, granted, 2-0 is the most deadly scoreline in football, but at the same time, 2-0, I think, has, in this particular case, given the circumstances, I mean, they'd have nothing else to play for other than spoiler. That's the only thing that I could see, right? Is maybe somehow, some way, like they're reading stuff in the papers and they want to.
How petty are they?
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, so that's the only case. But look, I think this has Galaxy. Maybe, I don't know about route, but +3, +2 or 3 should do it. But as someone said in the chat, man, lose play San Luis. So yeah. That's going to be interesting. What? Imagine if we needed like a +5 or something. That's going to be wild. I wonder how the Galaxy would approach that.
Well, ruthless aggression, just like we all said. maybe nobody wants to see that. Trust me. I mean, like, no one wants to see that. No one needs to see that. And really, I mean, if people start talking about they actually do want to see that, then you can find the link to my OnlyFans in the description as well. But guys, it seems like we are pretty much overwhelmingly calling a Galaxy win.
You there too, Papa? Then
yeah, no, I'm calling Galaxy
two,
win.
+3.
I just don't know. Again, we'll know by Wednesday what they need to do. But if it is like a +5, like that's a lot of pressure to come out and score 5 goals. They've already done it, but can they do it again? So I do think they win. I just don't know if they get over the hump with the goal differential. But that's pretty much what we have for y'all. So I think that brings us to the end, Ananda. Anything else to add?
Well, I was just checking here. So I did pull up just a second ago. Rob, something interesting. Inter Miami is at 5 points. So they're not totally out of the woods yet. And they play Pumas on Wednesday. That'll be a very interesting match. So Miami could be in a position that all these teams finish with like 7 points and they finish with 6 because they went into penalty shootout and didn't win. Like so many things can happen. I think this is what makes probably the
Messi-less Miami.
That's a great point, right? That's a great point. So I think this next couple of days should be fun. But this is the thing. This is like, I think us as Galaxy fans, like we're chilling. Like we're chilling because we're going to watch all the chaos unfold, and then the Galaxy come in. They know exactly what they have to do. So let the chips fall where they may.
Exactly. Well, we have just a couple of the homies from the show dropping us some love right here before we end. El Primo comments says, let's get this dub, G's.
Let's go. Gracias,
super
Papa.
chat. Then we have XPH with his super chat as well, just here to show some love to the show. Papa, you are one of our models as well. Thank you so much for dropping by. And really, thank you so much to everybody for dropping by tonight and listening to these two knuckleheads give you our impressions on the Cruz Azul loss. Because they did lose in penalties. However, it doesn't really feel like the loss because the Galaxy are still alive. They still have everything to play for here. And so even though they did lose in penalties, they still have a chance. Well, next up, since they do have a chance, they play Santos on Thursday at the Digs. Just a reminder that there is no live show on Thursday because we will be at the Digs. And we will be covering that match. We will be doing our live instant match reaction from the Digs at full time on Thursday. So watch out for that. And then a week from now on Monday, 8/11, we will have a reaction to Sunday's home match versus Seattle as the G's refocus on the league. And they hope to get back to winning ways in MLS. And hopefully that prince who was promised is on his way back shortly. Ananda, anything else to
add? Just want to say thank you to chat. Of course, you guys are always awesome, and thank you again for joining us. I mean, we talked about it coming into this tournament, Rob, with the Nag Boys, which is this is another opportunity for us to win. This is an opportunity for the Galaxy to reestablish their position as not only a top club, but one of the most storied franchises in MLS, right? And to keep that, we have to perform in competitions like this. We have to go for every trophy. And man, I just hope they do the business on Thursday, and then we'll figure out who we got in the next round. And hopefully what we do will be enough to advance, right? Because I think amidst this really, really tough season, again, we've been talking about all the trials and tribulations of this year, both on and off the pitch. I think a deep Leagues Cup run, I think, would make this fan base. I think it would give us something to cheer about, give us a moment to be proud about, give us something to be happy about. And I think that's all that we can ask for as fans. But as we always say, it is the hope that always kills us sometimes. So there you go. But no, I really hope they make a deep run, man. It'd be nice for this fan base for sure to cheer about something.
I would love for them to make a deep run. I mean, I would love to write those headlines. Those are good stories right there. Well, it was now it's the end of today's story. Thank you so much again for joining us, guys. We will see you again next Monday. We'll be at the Digs on Thursday. We'll bring you our reaction. And until we meet again, only one thing left to say.
Dale.
G up? Pew.
Tú y yo.
Te quiero tanto, tanto.